this is Gail with Gail Southern Living. I am participating in hashtag Homestead Crafts N Recipes, hosted by milknhoneyheritagefarmz and myself. I would like to invite all of you to join along and either do a old-fashioned recipe or old-fashioned crafts, and of course old-fashioned clothes if you happen to have any. So let's see what I'm going to do for my craft today. Today I am going to do a Christmas garland, and I picked things that they could actually have back in that time period. I actually bought a bag of popcorn and popped that myself. I also got dried cranberries because that's something they would have. They would also have leftover pieces of material from their dresses and aprons and napkins and different things that they made. So they would have leftover material so they could actually do this craft. Of course, it wouldn't be wrapped up in the Walmart style. But anyway, okay. So I picked red and green. I started to get just the green, but I wanted some red too because this is, this has a reddish tint, the cranberries. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to cut a couple to try this out because I don't know exactly what length I'm going to want them to be. I'm going to cut it along the square here and see if that's long enough after I put a few of them on. And if it's not, I can make the next one longer. That gives me a line to cut on. Okay, there's the green. Let's do a red. The green over here. Now these are just little strips. These cost $1.37 at Walmart for each little piece of material. Now I do remember I'm doing something like this on Little House on the Prairie. I believe it was just the popcorn and cranberries though, but they could have done this. I'm guessing it's just like nowadays. Some people are more creative than others on things. And they don't have to be perfect because, the strips they would have had would have been leftover pieces from whatever projects they were working on. I'm having a little trouble with my scissors. That's when I decided it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just going to be hanging down. I'm just going to do a few strips of each just to try this out, just to try this length out. I'm going to do one red and one green, and then if this size works, I'll cut some more. Having a little trouble with my scissors. I might have to change scissors. Okay. So I already have my needle threaded, if I didn't lose it, because you know how hard that is to do. And I already have on this end a loop tied to hang from, and then I'll try to do a little bit of a loop at the end of this one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with the popcorn first. I'm sure I did this as a kid, but I don't really remember it if I did. They're not quite as easy to push through as I thought they would be. It's like that kernel. That kernel is annoying. It's going to be a little harder than I anticipated. It's always good in theory until you're actually going to do it. Nope, see, it went through. I need to go through a piece that doesn't have that really big kernel. So let's try this. I think this piece will work. I think it just depends on where you're going through. See, that one went through just fine. Not really tempted to eat them because there's no salt on this, or there's a little bit of oil because I had to pop it with oil, but no salt. So not quite quite so tasty. So I'm going to wait till I get a few on here, and then I'm going to do a cranberry. Couple more. Have to be real gentle with it, because just holding it to put the thread through, you could totally break it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do a cranberry. I'll leave that one there for a few minutes. Old-fashioned popcorn cranberry with a little bit of material strips. I think it's going to be pretty. Of course, I don't have my tree up this early. But what I'm going to do is hang it in the dining room. And then when it gets a little closer and we have our tree up, then I'm going to actually take it down from where I put it and go ahead and hang it up on the wall. This is actually very delicate and tedious. Probably would be a little easier to do on off camera. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do a red material strip here. Okay, I'm going to actually put the fringed in toward the bottom to make it look like a, like it would have looked back then. Like it's a little piece of the scrap. So my Christmas tree is actually country looking, and we have a lot of like little animals, like bunnies and raccoons and deer and foxes and chickens, birds. This is one of those that's hard to poke through, so I'm just going to pick another piece. That one went through easily. So it's all in the piece that you pick. If you're going through a part where there's a lot of kernel. Yeah, see, that one went through flawlessly. I'm going to put a cranberry in here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the green material. Like I said, I'm going to put the fringy edge toward instead of putting the pretty side toward the end, I want to put the fringy side to make it look more country rustic. So that's what that piece looks like so far. It's pretty cute. Yeah, I think that looks really good. So if you see a piece that fell off that you just did, you just restring it. Just pick a different spot. But I think this will kind of fit with the theme of my tree, which is kind of country looking. So I actually bought this bonnet several years ago, and I've never worn it. So when Heather and I were talking about doing this collaboration, I told her I already had a bonnet. So I just didn't really have any of the clothing, like a dress or anything from that period of time. So I did my best. And I'm going to put a cranberry here. going to stop and cut some more material strips, and I'll I would like to thank you guys for watching my video, and I would like to challenge Arielle, Viking, Ventura, and Victuals, Sassy, Southern NC Girl, Life with Piedmont, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, and Jamie's Country Living to do this. You could do a recipe or a craft. So I'm challenging you guys to do this, so hopefully you'll join in. This is what I have so far, but I will have a picture of it finished at the end of this video, so you can see how far along I've got. But this is how far along I've got so far.